Welcome to this new Flight Simulator update movie. In this movie, we're gonna look at the latest additions to the marketplace for Flight Simulator 2020. The first one we start with is from DC Scenery Design. They released the A320 V2 special liveries, which is a special livery pack for the A320 V2, right, which has been part of Sim update number 15. So what liveries are included? For example, the Alaska Giants, Azul Wine, Azul Donald Duck, EasyJet Europe car, Lufthansa 5-star Hansa. And if we scroll down, you can see some of the examples. Right, so they simply released the livery pack. Keep in mind that this only works on the A320 V2. It doesn't work on the standard A320, as far as I know. And then you will get this, right? So some nice enhancements, some nice liveries, which you can, of course, give a try yourself if you want to have some more realistic liveries than the default ones. Then the next one, this one I already posted a video about it. It's about the Douglas C-47D Skytrain and the Waco CG-4A. So it's both a twin propeller as well as a glider, right? So originally the Skytrain pulled the Waco CG-4A, and it's now available as a bundle. And you can see if you're having, I would say, between brackets, the most expensive version of Flight Simulator, then it will only cost you, in my case, 10 euros, which is not really expensive. And it will cost you 10 gigabytes of disk space, which you of course need to have. There's a long story about it. Both aircrafts played a huge role on D-Day, right? So keep that in mind, that if you're flying this, that you likely are replaying a bit of D-Day. Of course, you can't compare it 100%. But hey, you can, for example, fly over Normandy. You can see the level of detail on this aircraft is really magnificent. And keep an eye on my channel because I will post a separate one about these aircraft really soon. Then the next one is realistic taxi signs from RM Studios. They updated the taxi signs, which you will find next to the taxi routes. So they fixed the problem of the taxiway signs being too bright, and they improved the 3D model of the taxi signs. And they, I would say, will work on every default airport, as you can see, but it will also work on a third-party airports as long as they have the Flight Simulator's own default taxiway signs. And I think that's where the problem starts, because in most cases, those updated airports do have updated taxiway signs. On the right side, you can, or on the right side, I should say, you can see the original one. On the left side, you can see the realistic one, where you can also see some usage. So that's really cool. And let's have a look if we can see some more, right? So it's really the usage which they added, which makes it a little bit more realistic compared to those nice bright yellow and red markers. Then the next one is from Bravo Airspace. They released the A320neo V2 mixed fictional hangars. As the name already says, those are mixed, I would say, fictionals from 9 operators. And if you look at it, you can see, okay, hey, the EFB, right, the electronic flight bag, is now on Panasonic toughpad. It's a weathered Buzzy cockpit, which is the additional cockpit compared to the default one. And these are the airlines which they have added, right? So the American Airlines 1968 livery, the Hawaiian Airlines factory aircraft, the JetBlue Spotlight livery. And if you look at the pictures below, you will see how that will look like, right? You saw the American Airlines, you can see Croatia Airlines, and other ones. And I would say that makes it, I would say, a little bit more fun to fly in this aircraft, especially if you love flying with, I would say, between brackets, a real jet or a real airliner. But in this case, keep in mind that those are fictionals, right? So they're not existing real, but they're pointing to real airliners which are active around the world. So that's pretty cool. So Virgin Atlantic, we can see the American Airlines again. And this is the electronic flight bag, right? So they now, I would say, replace this part to make it the Panasonic toughpad. So pretty cool. Then we've got the Alpha Hotel P-47D Thunderbolt from Aeroplane Heaven. It was also an aircraft which was used during World War II. Likely has to do a little bit with all the, I would say, not festies, but all the, I would say, events which are going around due to the Normandy, which is 80 years ago. And if you scroll down, you can see how the aircraft looks like, right? So a little bit dark pictures, unfortunately. But if you look at the cockpit, it looks really cool, right? All those gouges. You can see the usage over here. So this one is pretty cool. Also, if you look at the outside, also a lot of usage. So that's, let's say, pretty nice is this one. So if you love flying an older aircraft, this could be one which you could consider to buy. Then we've got VA Systems. They released the airport base training for Sydney, Yankee, Shara Yankee, and that will allow you to take off, circle around, and land again using the three iconic aircrafts, the A320, the Boeing 747, as well as the Boeing 787. Keep in mind that for the Boeing 787, you will need to have the deluxe version of Flight Simulator. In total, you can fly 108 scenarios, which is really cool. And I do think that they will also have included delivery packs for all three aircraft types, as you can see above. Scrolling down the list, we find another airport challenges for American Airlines Volume number 2, also created by VA Systems. In this case, you will be challenged with multiple airports. So what I did in this case, you fly with the A320 and then you can practice your takeoff and landing skills of a selection of the Central America airports. And then you can practice your standard intercontinental departure before joining a typical standard terminal arrival route, which will eventually land into a landing. Again, 132 scenarios, liveries are included. So that's really cool. It's using the default A320. They didn't switch to the A320 V2 yet. Then we've got South O Corporation. They released the Airport Sim Object Toggle tool, which is simply a toolbar which allows you to, for example, enable the small aircraft caddy or enable the pushback or several other services which are there. That's really cool, right? It adds some more realistic reality, I would say. I wouldn't want to say it makes it more realistic. But this is how it goes, right? So you also see that besides the, I'd say, default ones, you can also see special ones like the fire trucks or the fuel trucks or the shuttles. I'd say so it could be a nice one. And you can see that they really added a lot of services to it. To me, it's a little bit unclear if they're really, I would say, also animated, right? But it looks like that they are. But I would say test it out if you want. It's not too expensive. And then let me know via the comment box below this video if it is indeed animated or if it's really static. Then we've got the Airport Star Training Birmingham Echo Golf Bravo Bravo with VA Systems. Again, the three iconic aircrafts. In this case, it takes place for the inbound legs for Birmingham, which results in 11 standard terminal arrival routes which you can try out. And if you would apply a lot of scenarios, then it will end up in 198 unique scenarios. Again, livery pack is included, but keep in mind that the Boeing 787 is part of the deluxe package of Flight Simulator. Then last week, or early this week, the Boeing 787-200 livery pack was released. So not the livery pack itself, but the aircraft itself. Now FSX 360 released the first livery pack, and that first livery pack includes 6 ultra high resolution 8K liveries. And here you can see the liveries which are included. You can see Qantas, you can see Airtron, Airtronica, Blue One. And if we scroll down, we can see the liveries which they released for this aircraft. Keep in mind that you need to own this aircraft before you can use it, of course, else it won't work. But again, nice one. Then they also decided to release pack number 2, a little bit the same, only different airliners. In this case, Olympic, Spanair, Star Alliance, and Turkmenistan. And if we scroll down, we can have a look at the delivery pack over here, right? So same aircraft, different delivery pack. Again, you need to have the aircraft itself. Then Breezer Sport is the next airplane which has been released by Pixel Planes. And that's a nice, say, aircraft. It's a small one, as you can see. So what are the features which are included? A realistic and authentic interior of the cockpit, which maps to the original specifications from Breezer Germany. Animated glass canopy for opening and closing, including handle animation. So you can really open, let's say, this glass part and close it. Instrument with AS3 touch, so touch screens. Original RS Flight EMU for display of engine data, simplified without options. And then we've got the animated kneeboard and the animated tablet with additional functionalities such as the safety pin, the pitot cover, the canopy open close, and the baggage. And also there's, I would say, a checklist implemented. And if we scroll down, we can see the aircraft, right? So this is the Breezer. It's developed by a German company. Here we can see the checklist. Here we can see the system. So it's a nice one. Small aircraft. So if you love flying small aircraft, then this could be one which you might want to buy. Then, scrolling down the list, we will find the departure challenges EasyJet volume number 3 by VA Systems. If you look at this, it takes place in Spain, likely. Yeah, it takes place in Spain indeed. And you can practice your standard instrumental departures for outbound flights. Again, livery is included, and it results in 204 unique scenarios. So again, a lot, and it's using the Asobo default A320. Then the first airport, Hildesheim Airport, Echo Delta Victor Mike by Spinoza. It's an airport in Germany in Lower Saxony. It's say used by aviation enthusiasts, right? So gyrocopters, gliders, and parachutes, and private and business pilots. So that's cool. And not too much about the airport itself, only that it has runway 7 and 25, asphalt and grass, and it's approved for aircrafts up to 5.7 tons, which is a lot. If we scroll down, we can see the airport. So here you can see the airport, right? Including people standing around in aircraft. You can see also the parking spot has been, let's say, modified. Some hangars are used. The traffic tower. Then we get the skydive, right? So if you want to skydive, you can also do it. Some night lighting enhancements, which will make it, we say, a little bit more realistic during the night. Skydive parking spot. Let's see what we have else. The other hangars. People watching. Kids playing. This is likely I would say the business jet. And be careful because likely the ones which we showed, right, the business jet and I would say the car standing close to the business jet, likely those are not included or are static. Then the next one is from Flight Tampa. It's Humberside International Airport, Echo Golf November Juliet. That's in the UK. In the borough of North Lincolnshire. It's modeled in high detail using PBR materials to reflect the 2023-2024 layout. So it's really up to date. And here we can see some of the pictures which they released, including the terminal, which has, I would say food. So if you want to drink a Red Bull or if you want to fly a rocket, which is also there, that's also included. This also pretty realistic, right? This is not what you see a lot. So they also spend a lot of time on the, I would say, outside of the airport, right? So the non-airport or non-air side. Helicopters are included, but those are really static. Night lightning. So this one looks pretty cool. Also some jets, also all static, so keep that in mind. So pretty nice one. Then we've got the Hurricane MK1 by Aeroplane Heaven. It's an aircraft, which is developed in the mid 1930s. It's used by a lot of, I would say, air forces, especially the Royal Air Force, also during World War II. And here we can see some pictures of it. So again, a lot of details, a lot of realism, a lot of usage has been added, which will make the aircraft look, let's say, really good, right? If you also look at the bottom here, so they really spent some serious time on developing this aircraft, and also I would say on the liveries which are there. It looks like that based on the description, only one livery is there. You will get a few truck for free, I would say between brackets, because of course it's included in the package. So have fun with flying this Hurricane MK1 aircraft. Then we've got the Idaho Fire Outlooks by ORBX. So those are fire outlooks like this one, right? So there are 11 of them, and there are, I would say, detailed locations all rolled up into one tight little package just for you. So you can now visit those houses in Idaho where you can see the fire lookouts, sorry. So again, and this is a special package. Depends. If you fly in that area, then this one might be something for you. Then we've got Elmira Corning Regional Airport, Kilo Echo Lima Mike. That's a regional airport. It's in the Chemung County, New York, 7 miles northeast of Elmira and 8 miles east of Corning. Uh, there's not too much details about this, but this is how the airport looks like. So you can see usage on the, let's say, on the parking spots, right? You can see some details about the hangars and parking spots for the cars. What did they else include? Also, some on the, let's say, non-airport side, they added the uh, cars and buses waiting. So also pretty nice one. Then next one is Leesburg Airport, Kilo Juliet Yankee Oscar by UK 2000 scenery. You need to have the UK 2000 scenery common library, which is free in the marketplace, and then you can buy this one, which is using some of those components. So keep that in mind. Um, so how does it look like? Well, it looks like this, right? It has one main runway, which is 5,500 feet long, and it also has ILS approach. So if you look at it, it looks pretty cool. Also, some time, or they spent some time on, say, including some more details in this area and the parking spots, as well as it looks like there are some static aircrafts on it. So keep that in mind that not all the aircrafts might be, say, really, say, be animated. You can see some other trucks. Here we can see the traffic tower, which is, I think, a very special one. If you ask me, a pretty low one. Here we can see the jet centers, right, including the refuel trucks, the ProJet Aviation. So a lot of details which are added to this airport, including a lot of static scenery. So keep that in mind. It's not all animated, and some of the things might be static. So don't be disappointed. And as last one, the night shot. Then we've got Richmond International Airport, Kilo Romeo India Charlie by Axonos. And that one is in Virginia, and it's the premier aviation hub and the second largest airport in the state with over 150 daily flights. So it's a pretty large one. So all the objects are 3D modeled with 4K PBR texturing, realistic custom ground polygon, as well as static GA and cargo aircraft, right? So you can switch it off, as you can see. And custom jetways, ground clusters, as well as realistic night lights, as well as accurate, up-to-date airport layout. And this is how it looks like. And you can directly see that this is, would say, an updated airport, right? We can see, because you can see the level of detail. You can see the traffic tower over here. This is a screenshot from further away. Some hangars and some other components, including solar roofs. Of course, some airport or aircrafts, sorry. That's when you talk a lot about airport, right? And a lot of details also here, right? The parking garage, but also the terminal buildings. I would say you can really see that they have added a lot of details also for the runways, all those lights, all those cars on the parking spots. Really cool to see this level of detail. But keep in mind again that some of the things are static scenery, as they mentioned in their release notes. Then we've got San Francisco International Airport, Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar. Keep in mind it conflicts with the Asobo Studio, Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar San Francisco Airport. So you need to go to the content manager and delete the default Asobo one if you installed it. That's, say, the first time I see this, but keep that in mind. It's developed by BM World and AM Sim. It's a huge airport, so let's have a look at the pictures because there's not too much detail. And here you can see what I did, right? So night lighting is really cool. Then this is the, I would say, these are right like the fuel terminals and some hangars. Then some hotels also being added to the space. Here you can see the traffic tower likely. So a lot of cool things, right? Including, let's say, those jetways, which are pretty nice. Screenshot from further away. So pretty nice one, but keep in mind conflicts with the default airport, so you need to remove the default airport. So then we've got the landing challenges Virgin Atlantic Volume number 5 by VA Systems. This one focuses on, I would say, Virgin Atlantic again. It is for the Boeing 747 and Boeing 787. And you can experience the thrill of landing at a selection of the UK airports using the standard terminal arrival routes. Keep in mind that it will require the deluxe version if you want to practice this with the Boeing 787. In total, 36 unique scenarios are there, and of course, deliveries are included. Then we've got FlySimware, which has released the Learjet 35A. So Learjet, for those who are playing Flight Simulator for a long time, I think it was also part of its previous version of Flight Simulator. Unfortunately, not too much details about the aircraft itself. So let's quickly jump to the pictures, which can be seen here, right? So pretty nice. Also, the level of detail inside the cockpit is huge, right? All those gouges, all those lights which are there. Here we can see that there's some covers, right? If you don't use the aircraft itself. This is the layout of them. Also the chocks, including even buttons, right? So you can see that they really spend time both on the outside but also on the inside, including that you can put passengers on it, which is really cool. Also the level of detail of the outside, right? The engines, front, the baggage. Electronic flight bag also included, so pretty nice. Then we've got Kushi. They released the mysterious Andes, right? So they're known for their, let's say, mountain packages. In this case, they focused on the Andes, which is ranging from the Andes to the Atacama Desert and the rainforest in Amazon basin. There's also languages are included, and you might ask, hey, why are these languages included? That's for the audio parts, if I am 100% correct. You can fly the boost trip using two aircrafts, the Asobo DA62. Uh, that's, I would say, one of them, and the TBM 930. Both do have its own livery, as it looks like, and all flights can be found under the activities custom control. And here you can see the livery which is included. Looks like a zebra or something, but it still looks cool. So you can fly it. So nice bush trip. So nice if it's, I would say, rainy weather. Then we've got Rishiri Airport, Romeo Juliet Esco. So Romeo Juliet Echo Romeo by Gate 15 Scenery. They released this. It's in the located on the island of Rishiri. It's in the northern Hokkaido in Japan. So runway 1800 meters long, no parallel taxiways on or turning paths. So keep that in mind. Only some small pictures are included, right? So it's a little bit hard to see the level of detail which they have added to the airport. But I'd say it looks cool, right? Including, say, terminal interior, as you can see. People waiting to pick up their baggages. Night lighting enhancements. So, pretty nice one. Dan Dream Scenery has released a water fix for Rotterdam, which is in the Netherlands. So now you can see, let's say, boats above the water and not under the water. And likely they focused on the industrial area, right, which they're mostly doing, or in this case, the harbor area. So that's really cool. And as you can see, if you update that and install it, then you will get a much nicer view compared to the default view which you have in Flight Simulator 2020. Yeah, a lot of industry again, but it's really cool. Then we've got Campos dos Amarias Airport, Sierra Delta Alpha Mike. That's in Brazil, pretty close to Sao Paulo. And in the north zone of Campinas, next to Estrada dos Amarias and close to the Rodovia Dom Pedro number 1. In the middle of the stretch between Nova Aparecida and Barro Geraldo. Not sure if I pronounce everything, sorry. So if I don't, sorry for that. It contains exclusive 3D, PBR, custom lights, custom mesh, as well as all modeled hangars. And of course, it has some other details about the airport itself. And this is how it looks like. So you can see pretty nice pictures. Also might contain some static scenery, but it still is, I would say, nice airport, nice update. Then the next one is Sogamoso Airport, Sierra Kilo, Sierra Oscar. It's in Colombia. So it's developed by Salvo Corporation in partnership with Global Design. So that's nice. What they did for this airport, highly detailed models with high resolution PBR texture updates, an up-to-date runway, taxiway apron and stand layouts, as well as custom and accurate taxiway signage and realistic dynamic lighting. And this is what you will get, right? Including the flowers for free because they're included in this package. But nice stuff, as you can see. Then we've got the PC-12 Oceania emergency response deliveries. That's for the PC-12. So keep in mind that you will need to have the SimWorks Studios PC-12, else you can't use it. And it will add certain liveries, so you can, I would say, play either the Australian Police or you can play the Royal Flying Doctors, whatever you want. And if you apply that to the aircraft itself, then you will get this. So keep in mind, you will need to have the aircraft itself, else it won't work. Then Dream Scenery has released the VFR Object Atlanta region, and they're mostly focusing on the industry, but in this case, you can also see that they focused on the city itself. So a lot of updates there. So if you love flying in the Atlanta area and love flying VFR, then this could be a package which you want to buy because it adds a lot of realism, as you can see. Scrolling down, we find the VFR Objects Philadelphia region. Same package from the same developer, but a different city, where they updated the city itself, as you can see, but also the industrial area got an update. And in that case, I would say, likely it's more the industrial area which they updated compared to the city itself. Although they start with the picture of the city itself, but it still adds a lot of fun if you love flying VFR. Then they did the same thing for San Diego, right? So scrolling down directly to the pictures, here you can see the level of detail, including the Navy ships, which are there, including the harbor area, but a lot of detail compared to how it looks like by default. So keep that in mind, that this is a massive update. So if you, let's say, kind of are bored of those ships which are under the water, then this could be a package which will definitely, I would say, improve it. So have a look at it yourself. Then they also did it for San Francisco. Say same developer, same fixes, different city. So all kind of cool enhancements for, in this case, San Francisco, which will make flying over the city even more nice compared to how it might be now. Although it's already pretty cool if you fly over that city now. Then we're already at the bottom, and at the bottom we will find the Kanur International Airport, Victor Oscar Kilo November from Cascadia approach. The airport is located in India, outside of the city of Kanur. It serves the northern part of the state of Kerala. So what did they include? It mostly contains custom-made detailed terminal and other buildings, as well as the terminal contains interior. Not too much big pictures, but only smaller ones. And here you can see the interior. You can see the outside of the airport. So some more details being added there, right? So it's pretty cool. And the last one is the Tianjin Binhai International Airport, Zulu Bravo Tango Juliet by Samsung 3D. It's in China. So what has been done? Well, a lot. As you can see, it's one of the major air cargo centers in the People's Republic of China. Detail Terminal 1 and 2, as well as the medium design of cargo terminals, buildings, and hangars, detailed ground markings, Prolux windows glass to create interior effect, so no frame loss. Moving custom jetways includes over 200 iconic buildings, as well as including both the Pinea area and the city center, and frame rate friendly, both on the PC as well as on the Xbox. And here you can see how the airport looks like, right? So a lot of detail, also the usage on the roofs, really nice. Then the jetways and the parking spots, nicely modeled. So if you love flying in the area of China, then this could be one which you want to add to your collection already. because it adds some more realism compared to how the airport looks like from real. Here we can see the city center itself, as they also mentioned. So also city center is updated. So pretty nice. And we're at the bottom of the marketplace. And that means that we discussed all, how many were it? 35 items. Some of them are cheap, some of them are a little bit more expensive. We saw both livery packs, new airports, scenery fixes, aircrafts. We can see a lot of military aircrafts, which has to do with the Normandy being 80 years ago. So that's something which you could consider to buy, of course, if you love flying aircrafts from that area. And keep in mind that several of them are now are now available for reduced prices. So here ends this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.